to talk some Kaiju number 8. So, Dan, introduce yourself.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Dan from Dan Exclaims. I talk about Kaiju number 8, and I talk about My Hero Academia and its spin-off My Hero Academia Vigilantes.
Yes, all of which I am also very interested in, and we have this sort of contentious relationship where you post videos on My Hero Academia weeks ahead of when I'm going to catch up. So I have to just sit there waiting to watch these awesome videos until I'm caught up, because, you know, spoilers.
I always preface spoilers. I always say that. I always preface spoilers.
Yeah, and then I just have to sit there knowing your awesome videos exist, and I can't watch them until I catch up. So.
Exactly. That gives you a backlog of stuff to like catch up on and watch. And like you're like, okay, you know, if I enjoyed this chapter enough, I wonder if there was a YouTuber that spoke about it. You know, sometimes it kind of gives my videos like an estimated time of death, but like at the same time, it's good.
Yeah. So, yeah, you know what? Let's talk Vigilantes for a little bit. I really enjoyed Vigilantes, and it started out initially for a very specific reason. I'm a huge fan of Turbo Hero Ingenium. I mean, I think the only reason they didn't make the manga about him was it would have been too generic.
Yeah.
So that was when that's what sort of. I'd always enjoyed Vigilantes, but his presence in it kind of getting more of him kind of solidified my appreciation of the series. But I've just always enjoyed there's Vigilantes. It's, I don't know, more. It's hard to describe it with something that would not seem just oxymoronic once you understand the entire series, but more laid back, more mature.
Yeah, it's more laid back. It has a subtle nuance to it. It's not like it's
subtle nuance. That's got it. Yeah.
Every single thing in Vigilantes is supervised by Horikoshi, meaning that he works with them, but you know, not Betancourt. Betancourt's he's the illustrator, amazing illustrator, by the way. Furuhashi, who has been doing a fantastic job at weaving his own story underneath Horikoshi's story, because we've seen already that Horikoshi takes one panel and tells an entire story with the panel. So Furuhashi essentially has to do the same exact thing just to stay up with him. And if he doesn't stay up with him, Horikoshi's going to eat him alive. So when he's supervising the script, it's always going to be Furuhashi's story, but it's going to be told and lined up by Horikoshi. Like, he's going to give him like the newspaper headline, as I call it. It's going to be like, the crawler saves Naruhata. So it's like, get to that newspaper headline and tell me what you're going to do, and I'll supervise it. Like one of the first books, novels, they have like those facts.
No.
Okay, so like in like when you open up like a manga book, like a manga novel.
Oh, those, yeah.
Yeah. They'll have like facts, like they'll tell you how tall Koichi is or whatever, and they'll have, you know, notes from the author.
The stat sheets.
Exactly. So like at the end of the book, you'll have the notes from the author, and the notes from the author were like, you know, when we were first doing this, I threw it out there that, hey, maybe, you know, Endeavor could show up possibly, and lo and behold, Horikoshi's like, yeah, absolutely. Bring Endeavor in. I want to see what you do with them. And they're like, oh my God, they gave us Endeavor? That's a total contrast of what happens here in America, is because like you'll never get Batman showing up in like a cool television show or sometimes be featured in a completely off-kiltered book. Like you'll never get him because he doesn't pull in the numbers, and that book doesn't deserve those numbers, kind of thing. In Vigilantes, they know if we put Endeavor in this book, people are going to read it because we know Endeavor shows up. People are going to read this book because we know it's a prequel to Stained. People are going to read this book because there's the first international hero that's been introduced in Vigilantes. The first international hero that was introduced in My Hero Academia, period, was in Vigilantes. So the thing is, it's a supplemental read to My Hero Academia that is just so much fun.
Yeah, and again, it's hard to find an adjective that describes it, but I think it's more mature than My Hero Academia. So it's written to its audience is the older fan, I think. The late 20s, mid 30s, early 40s fan who wants a little more subtle nuance. Doesn't always want it to be about saving the city from a meteor dragon made of
Exactly.
meat.
It's a toned down story. It's a very intimate story. I bet that's what I was.
Intimate. I think, yeah, that's the word for it.
Whereas, like, if you read My Hero Academia right now, there is so much going on to this poor child.
Oh my goodness.
This is like a 16-year-old, and Koichi is like 24, 25 at this point.
Yeah.
Or was he like 20? No, actually, he was like 23 or 24 at this point. So in My Hero Academia, he's like 25, 26 in current timeline.
And there's so much like not real life events, but real life stressors and real life sensations in My Hero Academia.
It's supposed to be more slice of life. Yeah.
Yeah, My Hero Academia is almost getting a little too stressful and too real to read. Whereas
that's because it's reaching its end. So the thing is, the scope of the ending for My Hero Academia is much larger than Vigilantes, because what Vigilantes is doing is setting itself up to also have its ending within My Hero Academia. That's the benefit of this. Like, the entire time, when you first meet number 6, it's one of those, Naruto has yellow hair and so does the 4th Hokage, and you're like, oh, this is definitely his son. You're just sitting there. That's the moment in My Hero. That's going to come. And when that comes and slaps you in the face with it, everyone's going to be like, oh my God, this is like one of the greatest side manga ever created.
So how do you know that you say My Hero Academia is wrapping up?
Yeah, so there's just been, when I say that, I mean, it's going to be wrapping up within like the next 5 or so novels.
Mm-hmm.
And I've recently heard that Horikoshi was saying that he thought he was going to be able to end it in 5 novels, but he doesn't know now. So now it's like, does that mean he doesn't know now, like it's going to be another 5? Or does he not know now it's going to be like 2? So people have just been wondering how much is left of My Hero Academia.
So yeah, this has been such a fun ride. I remember my younger siblings are pretty into manga, and I got into My Hero Academia when I was out working in a fairly remote station for the National Park Service, and I got into it through a friend of mine online. And I came home and I came to the main, and I go to my sister and I go, you've got to read this new manga. She's like, oh man, I can't. I just got into this one named My Hero Academia. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I go to my brother, like, you got to read this new manga. He goes, oh man, I just got started. I can't. I just got started on this massive new manga named My Hero Academia. So
wow.
I think it just kind of exploded that summer, at least in my geographical area where all my nerd friends were. It just sort of took off in the same 3 month period.
Yeah, it hits social circles, whether it's because somebody picks up the anime and then they're like, wait a minute, there's a manga about this, and then they read 30 books of manga, and they're like, oh my God, I'm caught up, what do I do next?
Vigilantes.
Exactly.
Okay, so didn't plan on talking about
read
that,
Vigilantes.
but
read it.
All right, so everybody go check out Dan's channel, hit the like and subscribe button, plug your plugs, Dan.
Look, first of all, Betty, thank you for having me. I absolutely love doing these because you're one of the only people besides Grimm that I can actually talk to about Kaiju number 8. So many people out there have no idea that Kaiju number 8 exists. And right now, pretty much it's like me, Betty, and Grimm are like the 3 channels that actually talk about Kaiju number 8. And they talk about it a lot more than I do, and they go into extensive detail. I break stuff down, but they break stuff down crazy deep, and I love watching their videos so much. So, Betty, thank you so much for having me, and I can't wait till we do this again. Hopefully, when I'm not adulting, I can just come here and we can just talk for hours on end.
Okay, that sounds great. Peace out.
All right, catch you later.
Humans Are Weird. We took a vote. Available on Indiegogo for the month of October 2020 and available for in demand through November. Humans Are Weird. We took a vote. Monty Python meets Star Trek in the second book of Human Absurdity, a short story collection that will have you chuckling for years to come. Humans Are Weird, We Took a Vote, available on Indiegogo. Go and get your copy now.